Because there's like so many things that we have to now think about. We can't just write an article with a good H1 tag, stuff some keywords in it, get a couple backlinks, and we start ranking. We have to think about how all of this plays together, right? This cross-channel SEO, that what we're posting on Reddit in a subreddit matters to what we're doing on Snapchat, matters to what is happening in a Discord channel, that also matters in how we're going to rank in Google. So what do we do? Like this, it's a heavy question, but it's something that we really have to start thinking through, because the way that we've always approached creating content has to change.
Yeah, so some of the clients that I work with at Digitas, and I will say like it's really great at Digitas because we're a network experience agency, which means I get to very quickly work with not unsiloed teams. So I can go to the social team and say, hey, we need to be working on this. Like when I mentioned the drip strategy, that is something that we're able to go through and get those together. Sometimes I have to work with the client side and work with their individual teams. It takes a little bit more time and effort to do that, to convince them why we need to test into this and how that's going to affect all of that. But there's so much you need to be testing right now. The first thing you have to do is unsilo your teams to make sure that they're all understanding that this all does play to not just SEO, but just overall the future of how your brand or your product is going to win. None of these exist on their own. Like in the past, you could pay for ads to go out and do its own thing, and it functioned in a different kind of channel. That's why we called them channels to begin with. But now every channel has to absolutely work together to make it work, or otherwise, if anybody was here for Rand's session earlier, you're going to continue to see that you will spend a lot of budget and not get the types of results that you had in the past, or work on a lot of organic or brand or like experience efforts that's going to drive brand marketing, and then not see the results from that if you don't show up in search from all the efforts that you've done there. So it has to be a coordinated effort where you can't not talk with each other of what's actually happening for your brand.
So when I think about like maybe starting, so a lot of the conversations I had yesterday when we were doing all these recordings was people looking into their GA, the Google Analytics, and seeing like, all right, our Google traffic is starting to get down, but maybe our Reddit traffic is starting to creep up. Maybe our ChatGPT traffic is coming in. Maybe we're seeing some other places. Is that a good signal to be like, all right, now we're starting to see some smoke here? Can we turn it into fire with our content teams?
Yes, and that's where I would say, again, most people have always thought of SEO just as something to optimize inside Google, but SEO is everywhere, so it is optimizing all of those places. So like when you were mentioning the Reddit stuff, like, do you know what people are actually searching in Reddit? Do you have the data behind that so that you know what to optimize for? Do you know what they're searching inside Snapchat? Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, that's actually a thing. It's a little bit more of a local space in kids using maps, but that's happening. What are people searching for on TikTok? So all of that then creates this little symbiotic world that then pushes into not just your rankings, and I don't even think you need to care only about Google rankings. You need to start to think about rankings in all of these different places, like even how you show up from a generative AI engine like a Perplexity or a ChatGPT.